everyone, and welcome to the Girl Put It Down recap with myself. I am AJ Hill and fashionably she, which is Kyla, and I'm sure Kyla will request to be on. Hi, everyone. Hey, hi, Sherelle. Hi, everyone. Come on in. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Jesus is my doctor and I. Okay. He gives me all of my medicine in the room. Okay, that's enough. Kyla.
Hey,
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 friend.
man. We starting with the Holy Spirit. I heard you say.
We're ushering him in. We're ushering him in. That's what I should have had some
I,
wine.
I
But
had to get my wine because I am ready. I'm
are you
ready,
ready,
and
friend?
normally I'm real reserved and filtered, but this deserved just some honest, pure, good conversation.
I'm here for it. I'm ready. And this is all you're guiding the conversation.
Yes.
I'm just
Listen.
here to answer.
So I want to start. I have a confession. I have a confession that I want to make. I was originally so nervous for you to do this.
Okay.
So nervous. When we talked, I was like, everything in me felt like, no. But the reason I didn't express it for two reasons. One, you didn't ask for my advice. Like when we talked, it wasn't about what you think, should I, whatever. So that told me she confident about this. She done prayed on this. She there's she feel it in her heart, and so this is what she wants to do. But the second thing is one, I'm learning to be a better friend. Like, you don't always have to give advice. Like, shut your mouth, be there, support your friends, listen. But in addition to that, something told me, and I didn't know how this was going to go, but something told me that this was bigger than the fear that I had for you. And the fear that I had for you was all about whenever you start to open up skeletons in the closet and expose stuff, is like you got to be ready for it to come out on both sides,
Yeah.
right? And the beauty of what you did is you told your where you did, where you wasn't the perfect wife, but the ending, and anybody who is on here who have not yet seen the series, y'all have to start it. But the way you did it, the highs and lows, the roller coaster, and then those last two episodes like had me in tears because it wasn't just I saw that it wasn't just about what happened to me, but how I got through it, and it brought other people along for the ride, and hopefully going to help so many people. So I just wanted to make that confession that in my heart of hearts, I was thinking no, but I kept it in and just wanted to show up, support you, and I'm happy that I did. I'm so happy that I shut my mouth, because not that you would have listened to me, but what you did is just crazy impactful. So here's how we're
Let
gonna
me
do.
just say I receive all of that, and I feel like your fears about me sharing my story are valid. I too had my own fears. And there's an echo again. So hopefully, and I'm sure it's my phone.
About to say,
Uh,
because I don't hear it. Do
it's
you
me.
guys hear the echo? And I know a lot of people have questions, because my twin sister called me. She got questions. Put your questions in a comment. But do y'all hear the echo?
Not for you, but for me. But hopefully the echo is mild enough to where it's not.
We don't hear it.
You don't hear it. Okay.
They say they don't hear it.
Yeah, so I had my own. I was terrified every morning. I was terrified. Yes, last week was exhausting. I was terrified because I felt like I was being naked in front of the world, but I too felt like I was being pushed and pulled to do this, and it was so much bigger than me.
Okay.
And when I look at the comments, specifically under episode 50,
Okay.
it validates that I made the right choice.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually feel more free because I had been holding on to this, and I didn't want 5, 6, 7 years down the line. And I have this series in my phone,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm saying, I wonder what would have happened if. I wonder what. Now it is what it is.
It
Like I
is.
don't have to continue to walk around with this series in my phone thinking shoulda, coulda, woulda. I wonder what would have happened if. And so, and yeah, you're absolutely right. Opening up skeletons can allow for the other person to say whatever, whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm so confident in my narrative
Yeah.
and my lived experience that there is nothing that anybody can say that would undermine, devalue, overshadow, demean, belittle my narrative and my story. And I wanted to make sure that when I presented it, and I'm so grateful because from the comments that I received, I feel like 90% of the people that saw it felt that I was just speaking
Yeah.
facts, being fair, not blame
Mm-hmm.
shifting, not saying, "Woe is me, I'm this battered woman that was cheated on." You know what I mean? Like that's
Yeah. It
not
definitely wasn't one sided. It
that's
definitely
not
wasn't.
what and I wanted to be very clear. If we push the infidelity aside, AJ could have done a lot more. AJ could have cooked more. AJ could have put it down a little bit more. Yeah.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
AJ shoulda, coulda, woulda, but it
Yeah.
took me a long time to realize that there is nothing more that I could have done to change a person's character.
Right.
They
Exactly.
are who they are, whether I cooked the meals, throwed it
Yeah.
down in the bedroom,
Yeah.
did all the
Yeah.
things.
Yeah. That's
Your character is your character, and um it comes out more when you are deceptive.
yeah.
You know what I
Yep.
mean?
Yeah, yeah. Just like they say, money expose who you really are. I think the more of whatever you have, it expose who you really are. And so I think as you saw it later in the marriage, it started getting bigger exposure to it. It just got wild. If y'all haven't watched it, so I have questions, and I know you guys have questions too. So put your questions in the comment box. But Precious K. Williams said episode 50, we all stood in unison. And I feel like I started actually tearing up like the first couple of episodes. I was like, why am I getting emotional? But by 50, I was like boo-hooing and just tears of joy. So let's jump into the questions because I got a lot for you. The first question, and you already kind of answered this, but before we get into the series and everything, the ins and outs, what are you feeling now, emotionally, spiritually, and mentally?
Spiritually at peace, like just at peace.
Mhm.
Emotionally confident. I don't know.
Okay.
Is confidence an emotion? Um, I guess I would say at peace too.
Okay.
It really didn't hit me until today where I was like, girl, you are crazy. Girl, you are one of one because girl, did you just really and the means and did you spend how like when I'm in it working on it, it didn't seem like a big problem. I don't want to say it didn't seem like it. I was just telling my story, right?
Right.
And I knew that it could impact and help other people, but I don't think I realized the magnitude of it.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I mean,
Okay.
I feel I'm ready for like, okay, God, what's next? I did
What's
it.
next? All right.
Now what we doing?
Actually, okay, I get into that too with one of the questions because towards the end, I we all want to know what next. I'm gonna tell you what I think, but the second question I have is, and we talked about this, right? We talked about this. Was it our first live before you dropped the release Sunday? We talked about this, but let's just say for the folks who missed that and just coming on, what made you decide to share this story so publicly on social media platforms across
Yeah.
several?
Well, I've said this multiple times, but 2023, when I was at the jeweler's office, because it wasn't like a jewelry store. It was like a
Mhm.
exclusive uh jeweler's place, I guess. And he told me it was a cubic zirconia. I went down in the lobby and I just sat there before I called my cousin Sheena. I just sat there and I this is gonna sound crazy, but I saw like a camera panning out and
Mhm.
me just like sitting there just looking into the camera. And I was thinking, this is a movie. This is so crazy. This is so crazy. So I went home and started writing. So that was 2023. So I had about 24 to 25 episodes already done. No
Mhm.
intent to post. It was
Mhm.
more so like a visual diary.
Right.
I did share it with my friends. It was just for fun. Like I would
Mhm.
share with my friends. They would laugh and they would say, "This is so good." But I had no intentions of posting because I was still going through my divorce. And
Right.
so my attorney at the time, she said, whatever you do, do not mention the divorce online.
Okay.
Don't mention going through it. Don't mention,
Right.
anything. And if you all hear the echo, please let me know. If it's just me, I'm fine with it. But if you all
Yeah.
hear it, please let me know.
So my sister said the CZ sent me through the roof. Can y'all hear the echo? If is it real disruptive though for you
No,
on your
I
thing?
can live with it. I'm
Okay.
just wondering if
Because we don't hear
everybody
that at all. I
else,
don't
I don't
hear
hear it
an
either.
echo.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 2024, I didn't even touch it because
Okay.
I started my newsletter.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like kind of an outlet. And then when Risa Tisa came out with her series, I had friends who knew about mine. I was like, oh my gosh, you missed it. You missed your time. You should have put yours out. But I felt no pressure to put it out. I felt no push to put it out. And I
Mm-hmm.
do feel like what God has for you is for you.
If yeah.
You know, somebody having a makeup line didn't stop
Mm-hmm.
Rihanna from having a makeup line.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean? Like if something is for you, it's for you.
Mm-hmm.
If it's your time, it's your time. If it's not, it's not. Um, so when 2025 hit, because that's your question is why now? When 2025 hit, I felt it's hard for me to explain. I just felt something like get it done, get
Just
like
tugging at you.
just tugging at me, and I really felt like it was just on my neck, like get it done, get it done, get it done, and I can't explain why. I don't have any. It's just something bigger than me.
Uh-huh.
It's like you gotta do this and you gotta get it done. And as far as posting it again, and you gotta share it. It's not gonna sit in your phone, and you gotta share. And the time is now because you're not gonna do it when
Mm-hmm.
your son has a cell phone. I, if my son was older, like he had a cell phone and he had social media,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I would have gone this route. I
Mm-hmm.
think by the time he does have access to it, girl, I'll probably be married and it won't even matter. Like,
Right.
you
Look.
know what I mean? Like the story is the story. It is what it
It's
is.
yeah. And it's
And
facts.
and
It's
it's
the truth.
facts, yeah.
Okay.
So
All right. So next question. Was there any one betrayal that hit harder than the rest? So is it any one thing that hit just stung harder than everything else? Because I mean, we can fill a basket with the how it just kept compounding and compounding.
when we were in counseling and like 10 or 11 weeks had passed, and I went in his phone and read the notes and found out he was still cheating. When I tell you that thing broke me, because I had used so much constraint, so much willpower,
Mhm.
so much discipline, so much reservation, I guess, to not crash out.
Mhm.
And I felt like I was working towards mending my relationship, and that just, you would think, it's the 4 years that I know of. It was more years of cheating, but let's just say the 4 years of cheating, believe it or not, did not impact me as much as the 11 weeks,
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
the 4 years I was oblivious. I kind of saw some things, but it wasn't like he is cheating.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
But to find out that it was still going on. I mean, and I hope the pastors don't mind me saying this, and I don't think they would, but their house burned down.
Who else burned down?
The pastors that was counseling us,
Okay.
and they still took the time to counsel us.
Oh
They
wow.
were in a hotel room for part of that time.
Wow.
And so my thing was like, you weren't even compassionate enough to be like, you know what? They got their dog in a hotel room. Like, they taking their time. They love us so much that they're taking their time and they want the best for us. And here I am still cheap.
Yeah. Let me try to do right, you would
Or,
think.
or let me just say, I don't want this.
Right.
I don't want to waste
Exactly.
y'all time. I don't want to waste her time.
Yeah.
Y'all house burned down. Y'all still taking the time. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So, but that was the betrayal that I was just like, that's when I called my mom. I couldn't. I was
When you
operating out.
called, when you told your mama, the tears was rolling because I already know once you tell mama, that is it.
Yeah.
I knew. I felt that. Miss Max said, the police call wasn't for me. Looked like my twin said that too. Yeah, the police call was a whole nother level. I think so. That's what the comments are saying in regards to that one thing that just took them over the edge was the police call. All right. So we're going to move on. Let me ask you this. Did anyone try to convince you to stay?
No,
No.
not one person said. Well, I got a few questions. Do you feel like you've done everything you could?
Okay.
I did get questions like that, but no one ever said stay. Not the pastors didn't, my
Mm-hmm.
mom didn't, my friends didn't, my mentors didn't. No one ever said you should stay and work it out. You should stay and work it out. No one. And I'm grateful because this was a decision that, oh, and no one told me to leave either. So there's
Okay.
that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No one ever said, girl, you need to leave him. Not my friends did. Even if they wanted to, they didn't say,
Yeah.
you need to leave him. So I didn't have any outward influence, which I feel like is such a blessing because I
Mm-hmm.
can stand where I am and say, I made this decision. And
Yeah.
I can't blame anybody else.
Yeah.
I had no, influence.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's the thing. Once I decided and I filed, then it was like, oh, girl, thank God. Oh, my God.
Yeah, because no one
Everybody was
wants to
on board.
be. No one wants to be. It's what I'll speak from a married woman perspective. No one wants to be the one to hold that burden or whatever you want to call it of influencing you to end your marriage. That has to come from within. To
Right.
get advice from the outside and to give that advice, and if you give it and then they back together, for so many friendships just are ruined from that type of thing. So I feel like just from a married perspective and being married, whether or not you went through that exact particular thing, you went through something similar. Everybody has went through some aspects of of assuming, thinking infidelity, knowing infidelity, trying to make it work, making it work, giving up, saying, "Hey, I tried," but it. So I'm happy that you did not, that you were able to get to that place from your own heart, mind, body, soul, spirit, um, without negative or positive just feedback. You gotta kind of you gotta make that decision for yourself. Otherwise, you're always questioning it.
Right. Absolutely.
All
Absolutely.
right. So I am going to ask the next question. What was the hardest part of letting go?
Oh, my son. Oh, Lord. Okay, see now. Don't don't get me. Don't get me. Oh, dang it, I should have got some tissue.
I got my tissue right here because I want to listen.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that helps me. Thanks. Um, man, I just oh,
Your son.
I know.
Your son.
Don't you guys?
Yeah. What they saying? How is it? Okay, so I am Miss Erica. Nice transition. I am Miss Erica. She said, "How is co-parenting now? Don't you cry,
I,
my friend."
I know.
I
I
am
know.
April, but yeah, no, you're.
Doggone it.
I mean, actually, and my twin said this. My twin called me before we got on, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, she said seeing one of the episodes, and I think it's where you were pouring in affirmations to your son and probably affirmations to yourself. She said just kind of tore her heart apart. Because he's helpless, right? He's it's so it makes total sense, your son, and that's who you probably wanted to provide a better, different life. But and we can talk about better, different,
Yeah.
because I think where you are now is going to be a better life
Yeah.
for what he would have seen staying in that. But we think, and I know you told me this, not you told me this. One of the things when we talk early on is you were struggling with being a single parent. That was like that. And I get, do you come from a two-parent household? Your mom and dad are still
So my
together?
parents divorced when I was nine or
Ada,
10.
okay.
9 or 10. So, and many divorce is very common on both. I want to say very common. It's prevalent
Right.
rather on both sides of my family. So it's not like I have um, my grandparents stayed married, but I think everybody's grandparents stayed married for a long time.
Yeah, because them grandparents have thick skin. They just go through it all. Look,
Right.
their
So
whole
with
mentality is the devil I know is better than the one I don't. I think that came
yes,
from them.
yes. So with seeing a divorce on both sides of my family, I have witnessed single mothers and I've witnessed strong women.
Okay.
So I knew that I would survive and I knew
Yeah.
that I would be fine because all of my aunts on both sides are divorced and they're all strong women. And so that's my example of what a single mom is a
Okay.
strong woman. So I knew that I would survive. I knew that I would be fine. I knew that I would have support.
Mm-hmm.
But I just felt like, man, he didn't even get 5 years of mommy and daddy in the house. He didn't even get, at least I had 9 years or 10 years. I
Mm-hmm.
can't remember. I think I was in
Yeah, so
fifth grade.
somebody's saying
Fourth grade.
10. Who is this? This must be a parent, somebody, AG,
Who was- That's my
79.
mom. That's my
Oh,
mom.
that's your mom. Hey, mom. Hey, mom.
That's my mom.
She
So,
said 10. You were 10.
yeah. So I think that was the biggest. Oh, and then the other thing I was kind of embarrassed. Like and I didn't say this in the series. There's a lot that I did not share in the series, but I
Mm-hmm.
think what I shared was good enough to paint the picture and to
Mm-hmm.
share the
Right.
story. So I remember when I would be walking around with this baby and I wouldn't have on my ring. And I'll be like, here I am. These people probably think now, I could be at a grocery store, I could be at church. Nobody is looking at my hand, but that's just me being self-conscious. Like, like I had this baby while I was married, people. Like, and it's like nobody is thinking about that. you know, whatever. That was just my own insecurity. I felt ashamed. I felt so ashamed to have this baby and not be married. Um,
No, I get
but the
it.
but the
I get
shame did not outweigh the anxiety and the pain and the betrayal and the it didn't. I rock this baby with no finger on my with no ring on my finger. I take that over walking on eggshells, over hearing the garage door open I get anxiety, or hearing the door open I get anxiety, or hear footsteps going up the stairs and I hear anxiety, or hear
yeah,
footsteps going down the.
yeah.
So yeah.
All right, and I see. Oh, Renee, one of my best friends is on. She's saying I can relate. Oh, a lot of people are saying I. April Styles saying I can relate. Whoo, child, the series. Okay, next question. What do you know now about yourself that you didn't know before all of this happened?
Um,
I can relate. I can relate. The I can relate pouring through.
what did I not know about myself? I don't think I knew how strong I was. I don't think I knew. I mean, I know that I'm strong, but you don't really know the essence of something until you have to actually walk it out. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Um, and I also didn't realize how naive I was.
Mm-hmm.
If it looks like a fish and smells like a fish, it's probably a fish.
Yeah.
You know? If you have surgery and the man don't stay with you, he staying with
Ooh.
somebody.
Oh, when you said that part, oh, it's so many parts. All right, so they're fussing
Oh,
at me. They're
and let me say this.
okay.
I didn't tell anyone that because I was embarrassed and ashamed.
Yeah,
I, I didn't tell anybody. I didn't tell my mom. I didn't tell anybody that I had the ectopic surgery. Well, they knew that I had the ectopic surgery, but that he didn't
that he
stay
didn't
together.
stay.
I was embarrassed. I was ashamed. So I kept that. And you see, silence is it's like a jail cell. You
Yeah,
know, it holds you hostage. It keeps you in bondage. And
it's a
yeah,
silent killer.
it is.
It's a silent killer. Y'all can't wait to the end. They're saying answer the question on co-parenting. Somebody
Oh,
asked
well,
how is
okay.
co-parenting?
So we follow our custody orders
Okay.
to the T. He is an active parent and he follows the custody order to a T. So do I. So whenever he's supposed to have our child, he has them. I've never had a situation where he didn't show up. Um, as far as communication, we communicate through a co-parenting app.
Oh, oh wow.
Hmm.
Okay.
We communicate through a co-parenting app. And yeah, I mean, it's really not much to it. If it's in the order, we follow it. If
Okay.
it's not in the order, then he may reach out or I may reach out and say, I don't know, do you want to keep him for extra night or something?
Yeah.
Or
So the ground rules are laid out. Y'all follow the ground rules, and I guess it's as peaceful as we could
yeah,
expect.
we can expect. There is not a lot of collaboration as far
Mm-hmm.
as if it's not in the order, that's all I
Listen,
got. That's all I
yeah,
got.
y'all got okay. So wait, is the right doula? Is that your doula?
Yes,
She's saying, "Hi, honey, I love you." She's on.
yes. Hi, Natasha. Yes, she was with me. I mean,
Even that was a whole another deal. I know,
yeah.
but all right. Next question. And I know y'all put the questions because they're screaming at me for missing the
Okay.
questions. There's a little question box. We're gonna get to all of y'all questions at the end. I'm almost finished with mine. All right. What's one boundary you will never compromise again
What's one boundary I will never compromise again
in a relationship?
in a relationship? Oh, I'm gonna have to think about that.
All right,
I
think
should
about it.
probably have that answered before.
I think you are
Um,
one hell of a. Oh, they. Yeah, I hate that. I wish there was some way I could get there. I mean, they are pouring into you.
are they? Because I don't see
Oh,
much.
oh my God. There's so many questions. Okay, so y'all, why y'all not putting it in the question box? Do you still go to swimming classes after the police encounter? That police encounter, I think, took us all
Okay,
out.
so listen. The next time there was supposed to be swim, I showed up at 9. They weren't there.
Oh,
The next time he had them, I showed up at 9 again, and he wasn't there. So I don't know if they
he moved swim
if he
lessons.
stopped going. I don't know if he started going at a different time. My son could be in swim lessons right now, and I don't know because he talks about the pool all the time. So I don't know, but that is what happened. So I did go because I was like, I'm gonna go. You're not gonna stop me, but they weren't there, so I don't know.
All right. Let me move on. And y'all, I don't know if y'all don't see that question comment box, but y'all gotta use it. All right, next question. Do you think you fully forgiven him?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, without a doubt, without a doubt. Because unforgiveness is too heavy to carry. It's too heavy to carry. Uh, Now, I'm not gonna forget it clearly,
Yeah.
but you know what? I kind of think I probably will forget. Not everything, but the
Hmm.
details. Like I don't. I think I don't see myself 10 years from now remembering every single thing. Does that make
Right.
sense?
Yeah.
I don't want to say because I won't care, but it won't matter.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't think forgiveness means you don't speak about it because it's a part of if my life is a book, this was about 3 4 5 chapters and it's my story.
Mhm.
It was a part of my life, and if your role in those chapters weren't the best, I don't
Yeah.
know what to tell you. So but forgiving him, absolutely, because
Okay.
what is there, it just is what it is.
Yeah.
It happened.
And it's more for you, right? The forgiveness is to just have
That's
peace in
it.
your heart and to move
That's
on.
it. That's it. Yeah.
All right. Is this Tasia? Excuse me if I pronounce it wrong. Have you read the book Forgiving What You Can't Forget? I hadn't heard of that.
I
Have you?
have heard it. It is on my shelf and I have not read it. I
Okay.
do
All right.
have it and I have not read it.
All right. Some of y'all, so they're asking me, I guess everybody don't have the question box, but next to the comment at the bottom, there should be a little question. And maybe it's not a box, right? It's the little circle looking thing. So for y'all who see that. All right. I'm going to wrap up, y'all. We're going to get to your questions. I see them. I see
And
them. I
can
see
I
them.
ask if for those of you that are watching, if you see like compliments or encouragement, can you screenshot it and DM me? That would be
Oh,
helpful since I can't
oh,
really
we had,
see.
oh my God.
So if you can like
We have a lot.
screenshot some things, and I would
Yeah.
really appreciate that because I would like to read what you all are saying.
Wow. Yeah, it's so much. I want to try to go through them all too. All right. So next question. What would you tell the woman still hiding her pain because she's afraid of how it looks?
First of all, you do not need to make a series, girl. You listen. I'm crazy. Okay, don't do what I did. Don't do that. Okay. No, find something else to do with your time. Don't do that. No. I would say you gotta tell somebody.
Wow.
You have to tell somebody, or you will die a slow death, not physically, but emotionally and mentally, because it really messes with your brain. It really messes with your brain. And especially if you're silent and you're still in the situation, and then you're getting gaslit and gaslit and lied to and cheated on, and then you become a shell of yourself, and you become this small little person, when you're really a big vibrant person that has goals and dreams, and you're valued by other people, but you feel so small. I would say tell somebody. I don't know. And if you tell that person and they aren't helpful, or kind or compassionate or empathetic, don't talk to them anymore. Tell somebody else, because what you don't need to do is get beat up. I've had to delete some comments, because if they trigger me, or
Mhm.
if I feel like they aren't encouraging or empathetic, then I just delete them. And I had a plan. That was my plan. I knew that it wasn't going to be 100%, roses and flowers, and everybody was going to be,
Yeah.
oh. And so my plan was, if it gets out of hand, I'll just turn off the comments. I'm going
Yeah.
to do this. And if it gets out of hand, I'm going to turn off the comments. That's the extreme. But I'm just gonna delete things. I'm just gonna delete and block, because
Mhm.
I don't have I'm not a quick clap back kind of person. I'm the
Okay.
person that 2 weeks later I'll be in the shower. Damn, I should have said such and such and such. And
Yeah.
I'll be driving and it's like a month later. Oh, I should have said. And it's like, girl. So I'm not
Yeah.
quick with it. And so because of that, I can't let it linger in my mind, because I have too much other things to be thinking
Right.
about.
Right.
So I just block, delete, block. Because
Good
I've
one.
had a few people in my comments. Um, um, he did what you allowed him to do.
Oh,
And,
Lord.
just
Yeah.
things. And
Yeah. Yeah.
people are entitled to their
Yeah.
opinions. And you overlook some things, and that's the truth. That is the
Yeah.
truth. I did overlook some things, but not on purpose. I was naive. I mean, literally just naive, fresh. I didn't have a lot of dating experience. um I didn't have a lot. I didn't really have any dating
But
experience.
listen, at the end of the day, like that's it, love is blind. Love is blind. You
Yeah.
could have had all the dating experience you want. It's so love is truly blind, and until you get woken up, then it just is what it is. So
Mhm.
I don't think it's one particular thing that could have opened your eyes bigger than going through it and living through it. I do want to ask mom though, and I know she like, hopefully she's still hanging out. It's something about a mother's love, and when she said that I love you and I love him, I want to know what was going through her to be able to in that moment be able to already, it seems like she had forgiveness or grace for him as well. If you are still on, I do want to understand, like, what in that moment allowed you to still be able to express that, listen, as you know, this is tearing, I know it had to be tearing her apart, but to still extend that grace across both of y'all. So
So
we'll get
here's
back.
the
I'm gonna,
thing. Let me tell you this.
all
If
right.
I would have known you would have had that question, I would have told her to be prepared, because she is probably in her hair rollers right now, with her feet up on her couch, okay, and her blanket. Okay, she's probably laying back watching me right now. Because she would have joined if I would have said, "Mommy, I want you to join for a few minutes." She would have said, "Okay, I'm gonna have my makeup on and my lipstick," and she would have been
Mhm.
prepared. But I'm telling you, God is real, because my mom is, and I know she's a firecracker when she wants to be.
Mhm.
She is loving for sure, but she gives it to me straight, and I just knew she was going to flip. So
Mhm.
when I said God is real, because I really feel like God was speaking through her and gave her exactly what I needed, because
Needed.
what I didn't need, in I was I was like a little baby like I had shrunk so much to this little form of a woman that I needed softness, compassion, empathy, sympathy. I needed that because a few weeks after that, she was like, "Now let me tell you something, okay?"
All right, mama. Yeah,
She
no, that touched me. I mean, the journey, the roller coaster ride. It was. I mean, this series is blows my mind to this day. Somebody, and I like this. Oh, Miss Mac. Who is Miss Mac? Miss Mac said, "Bottom line, you
that's
trusted your
one of my
husband."
really close friends. That's my son's godmom.
Oh, she said, "Bottom line, you trusted your husband, and that's okay." I agree with you fully. I agree with Miss Mac fully. Okay, so we're going to transition into moving forward questions, and I'm gonna wrap it up, guys, so I can get to y'all questions. Moving forward, what is bringing you joy right now?
Of course, my son.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a typical mom. My son, my son, my son. What is bringing me joy? Peace. Can peace bring you joy? Maybe.
Yeah,
Um, Support is bringing me joy.
okay.
Camaraderie is bringing me joy. Um, the comments of support, like I said, under episode 50, I, the comments under episode 50 tell me they get it. Y'all actually got it.
Yeah,
Like I was able to portray what I wanted the audience to get, and
yeah,
you all got it. Like y'all got it. It just now that you see how I'm lighting up, that brought me
yes.
so much joy because people they got it. I didn't want to like he's such a bad person. Duh, 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 duh. That's not what I wanted, but I wanted to be honest at the same time and share what happened, and really the goal was what I went through but how I overcame. The
Yes,
story
yes,
isn't
yes.
what he did. No, it's what happened to me. Yes, he's a part of that, but I overcame it and this is where I'm going. And I
What was
truly
the theme
believe.
song? Well, I'm sorry for interrupting you, but what was it? Was the theme song took me out? It was either 49 or 50. You had this kind of. I just felt like we're super women and we're walking in unison.
Well, when I started when I started back, because like I said, in 2023, I didn't have a plan to post. But in
Mm-hmm.
2025, The Look of Love by Isaac Hayes, it just that beat, dun, 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 that beat, I don't know, it just kept coming back to me. And I don't know, I just feel like it was the perfect melody. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I haven't listened to the lyrics, but
Mm-hmm.
I feel like my marriage was the look of love. It looked like love, but it wasn't. Like it really wasn't. And so um yeah, that's why that song is the dominant song within the series.
What
But
song is it though? I can't remember it. I feel like I'm gonna go back
it's
and watch it because it gave me so much joy.
Well, at the end, so on episode 50, Optimistic,
Mm-hmm.
I play that by Sounds of Blackness. And
Mm-hmm.
then when I come up, um, is it Alicia Myers? I want to thank you, Heavenly Father. That comes up. But The Look of Love is the dominant song um, that carries the series.
Okay, yeah, it was like you did a whole. This was a whole production. It was the it was the actually we want the playlist. We want the
Okay,
playlist. No, not the
what
playlist. The soundtrack. We need the soundtrack to this.
Okay, I will do that, and I'll add some other songs because I actually during that time I have a list that's called I'm gonna make it. So I have a list that's called I'm gonna make it, and then I have a list that's like getting over heartbreak. So I will make a girl put it
Yes,
down.
soundtrack. And I'm sure
Well,
this
thank
is
you,
my
thank you,
mama saying that beautiful hair and dimples.
thank
My mom and my twin. My mom and actually my twin was invested. She called me and she was just like, I mean, she's so beautiful and confident. And all. She was so mad with him. She was like the nerve of him.
I
Um,
appreciate it. I
yeah, I
do.
think everyone is, and that's the thing, right? People think if you're beautiful that you're exempt from this foolishness, but
Beyonce was cheated on. Halle Berry was cheated on.
yeah,
Who else?
there is
Keep them coming.
no example. All right, so y'all, I keep telling y'all I'm about to wrap up. I got 3 more questions, and y'all have to put the comments. If y'all can do the comments, if not, I'll scroll up because I still see them coming. All right, is love still something that you believe in, and if so, what does it look like for you now?
Absolutely. Now, here's the thing. If I never get married again, and I know this
Mhm.
probably sounds crazy, but if I never get married again, I'm content.
Okay.
If I don't find love again, I'm content. I'm okay. Um, but do I feel like love still exists? Do I feel like it's possible for me? Absolutely.
Okay.
And here's why. Because I serve a big God. And I ain't trying to get all deep, but
Ooh.
I just feel like he
Mhm.
is too big for me to settle on this is the only experience with the man that I'll have.
Mhm.
Because if so, he could do so much better than that. And
Mhm.
when I say that, I'm not saying the man, I'm just saying the experience that I had with him. You see, I'm
Yes.
trying to be respectful because
Yes.
I really
Yes.
don't want to come across as like that's not it. But
Mhm.
um, so if it happens, great. I am not desperate for it.
Okay.
Um, maybe if I didn't have a child, I
Mhm.
would be this. But my focus is on making sure daycare is paid. You know,
Oh.
like I just making sure my mortgage is paid. I can't even think about. Oh, I need a man.
Yeah.
You know, so
That's
if
a
it
whole nother
happens,
topic.
great.
All right, so who is this? And y'all, my eyes are bad, but I think it's Saken Creative, something of the sort. She says, "We are so glad to see you happy after all that you went through. My question is, do you feel that you can trust men after this experience?" That's hard, huh?
It's possible. I know a few good men who have not cheated on their wives, who
We're right.
when they fall, you know, they can be upfront and honest. Um, I personally know. I can name about four. I know there are, I don't know, billions of people in the world, but I know four. I know four
Baraka,
honest men. But
look.
as far as trust, whoever is going to be with me, they are going to, first of all, when you have integrity and you're honest, you're open about everything. There's
Mm-hmm.
nothing to hide, right? So, and one thing about me, I'm not the kind of girlfriend or wife that goes through your stuff because I trust
Right.
you.
Well, that was
If
clear. That was clear through the series. You
right,
made.
and so I don't want to have to like go through his phone and see what uh, if I have to do all that, it's like I'm already gonna have to be doing that for my son. I don't want to have to go to your phone too.
Mhm.
Okay, phone check, everybody. Everybody, bring me your phone. I don't want to have to do that.
Yeah.
So, to answer your question, do I think I'll be able to trust? Yes, but that man would have to have an understanding of what I went through and be okay with not being offended when I ask certain questions.
Gotcha.
It's not
Gotcha.
that you're hiding anything, it's
Right.
that I've been scarred and I want to make sure I
Trauma.
don't get
Trauma. Yes.
exactly. That's my
PTSD.
trauma speak.
I was
Absolutely.
showing y'all the shirt I put on about 2 pounds, but I don't really believe this. But he says trust nobody. But I do feel like the lack of trust can create a whole bunch of other stuff as well. So you gotta balance
Right.
it. Trust but verify. All right. So y'all hanging out with us. All right. So
Y'all
I'm about to
hanging
wrap.
because we've been on here for a
Oh
while.
yes, they're hanging. All right.
Okay.
So this question is, and I don't even know if I want to ask it right now, but I'm gonna go ahead and ask it. Because you probably don't know. I think you right now are living in the moment. You went through a horrific experience. But the question is, what's next for you? Will this series turn into a book, a podcast, or even an event?
An event? I never considered this. So here's the thing. I am not the best multitasker. So in an ideal world, in an
Mhm.
ideal world, I would have had the series and I would have had something right next. But my mind doesn't work that way. I had to finish this and then put my focus on it, because if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it right, and it's gonna be done well, and it's gonna be done neat, and so focusing on the series, and you see how precise those gifs were. Okay,
Yes.
that's a time. It's a time and effort. So I couldn't think about. Some people can. I wish I was one of those people that could have a lot of tabs open, but
Hmm.
I can't. So as far as what's next, I'm trying to figure that out now. I mean, it would have been nice if I, had something everybody could roll right into it. But hopefully I've created or I've built a community base to where, everybody will be patient until I come out with, whatever is next. Because truthfully, I don't know.
Let me ask you this, and I could be wrong, but did you grow 10,000 followers since putting out this series?
Um, I think I was at no. I was at 27K.
And you're at
So now I'm
35K,
35.
almost 10,000 followers.
Hmm.
That's it's so the relatability of it, just some aspects, some okay. So audience reflection. All right, because I categorize my question. I only have two more left, y'all. Okay, and someone's telling me that there's a bunch of questions in the comments, so we're gonna get to it unless AJ says she has to go and live her life. What do you hope other women walk away with after watching your story?
Number one, you are not alone. You are not alone. There are other women who you think have it all together. They look like they have it
Mhm.
all together, that are going through the same thing. That's number one. Number two, tell somebody. Tell somebody. Do not suffer in silence. And I don't care what that man says. You got to protect your heart, because he's not protecting it. Okay.
Mhm.
You got to protect your sanity, because he's not protecting it. You got to tell somebody. Um, and three, focus on what is going to make you feel safe. For some people, that's not divorce.
Ooh.
For some people, for some people, it's just a separation for some time. For some people, it's being in two separate bedrooms. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what is safe for you? For me, I needed to cut that tail off. Like I, I gotta
The
cut it.
hearts are coming in.
I had to cut that thing. I had to sever all ties. I couldn't sever the tie with the child. It is what it is, but I had to sever that was safety for me. Because the anxiety that I felt, like I said, when I heard the garage door open, you know, when I heard the door close, when I heard walking up the steps and I'm up there and I'm laying in the bed, my body tenses. Or
Yes.
I didn't want to live like that. So those would be my main three things. Number one, you're not alone. Two, tell somebody. Three, get to safety, whatever that looks like for you.
Okay. So I'm on my last question, and I know they're happy. All right. Last question is: how can we, as friends, sisters in a community, better support women going through silent battles like
Oh, that
this?
is such a great question. Number one, listen. You are not in her shoes. You are not in her shoes. Sure, you would leave if you were in that situation. Great, but you're not in her situation.
Mhm.
So listen to what she's saying. Do not give your personal take on, well, if I were you, I would. That's not helpful. Okay. Because you never want that person to look back at you and say, well, if you hadn't told me that you would have done it, I wouldn't. Like, don't do that. So,
They're saying
and
listen but don't judge.
listen, but don't judge, and be honest with your friend. And if it is too much for you to carry, tell your friend that, so that she can find somebody else.
Yeah.
Tell your friend, this is I can't, this is a lot for me. And you can be honest and say, because you are remaining with this person, I have to step away because I'm hurt by watching you experience this. Whatever the case may be honest with that person. That's what I would say. And I'm grateful that all of my friends were able to hold space for me. But at the same time, I told all of my friends.
Wow.
I told all of them. Once
Wow.
after I told my mom, really in October of 2022, after I filed for divorce, I told all my friends, all of them. If you and I talk on a regular basis, I told you. I told you.
Wow.
So for me, that allowed, I didn't place all the burden on Sherelle. I didn't place all the burden on
Yeah.
Nicole, April,
Mhm.
Precious, Lasagna. They didn't have, it was like everybody carried an even weight
Oh,
because I
wow.
didn't I didn't burden just one or two friends.
Right.
Michelle, I didn't only call just one person. And that's just I don't know why I'm like that. My mom is very private, and so she
Mhm.
even was like, I wasn't sure about this at all, but she is very supportive and, on board now
Yeah.
because she sees the impact. She sees
Right.
the impact. And, my mom is very, the proof is in the pudding kind of person.
Mhm.
And so she sees the impact. And so she's very supportive. But I think, you know, yeah, you don't want to burden your friends.
Yeah. All right. So there are questions. How are you doing, AJ, on time?
I'm
Can you take some
fine.
questions? Okay.
Yeah, I'm
All
fine. If
right.
you're good.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm
Okay.
good. I'm good.
Okay.
I canceled Pilates for the night, baby. All
Okay.
right. Beautiful Michelle. She says, this is not a question. I just want to tell my cousin that she is doing a phenomenal job and that I am extremely proud of her. I love you.
I love
Love
you
this. I hope
too.
one of your friends is Snapchat. It's so many questions. I don't even know if we're going to get through them all, but hopefully y'all are
Are you
Snapchatting some of these.
in the
Okay.
box? Are you in the question box?
Yeah, I'm in a
Okay.
question box. Nikki B. She says, how has this affected your relationships with your ex-in-laws, his family?
You know what?
What?
I don't want to say who,
Mm-hmm.
but a few of his family members have reached out to me,
Okay.
showing their support.
Oh,
And it
wow.
has been very validating and healing for
Oh,
me. When I tell you, and I won't go into details of what
right,
they said,
right.
but it has been very, very validating and healing. And his sister will text me from time to time and send me pictures. Um, but to know that certain family members see me, hear me, support me,
Mm-hmm.
believe me, it was very validating. So I'm not close with the family, but there's no love lost.
Right.
If that makes any
It
sense.
makes it makes 1,000% sense for
Mhm.
me. All right. Next question is, I am Nicole Simmons. Will there be a second series?
No,
I.e. Girl
no,
Moves On.
no, no, no. Uh, uh, this thing took so long for me to do. It probably took like 300 hours, like just something ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because here's for okay, if if a if the video was 3 minutes long, it took me 3 hours to do. Because for every 30 seconds, it took me 30 minutes to get the memes right.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Now, that doesn't include writing the script and narrating. So add an extra hour. So if a video was a minute and 30 seconds, it took me an hour and 30 seconds plus an hour for writing and narrating. So you can calculate the time how you want to. And then depending on, if I had to find the perfect meat. I mean, the perfect jig. It had to be right.
The
So
memes were so perfect, so fitting,
so
so fitting.
for some videos, I was like, that's not right. I'm not feeling it. I'm not like if I watch it and I'm like, yeah, that's it. That's it right there. But if I watch it, I'm like, oh, I'm just not feeling. I will just keep looking and keep looking until my soul is like, that's the one, girl. So add an extra 30 minutes on on all of them.
Yeah.
So yeah, it took a
Look,
while.
girl, Tyler Perry is they need you on the staff. All
Uh,
right. So this is my twin or my mom. They both use the I am Kyla mom account. Do
okay.
you know? Do you know if he saw the series?
I don't know if he saw it, but I know that he heard about it and made a Facebook post. I did not see the Facebook post. I
Okay.
cannot verbatim say what was
Okay.
said, but I don't know if he watched it, but I know he knows of it. Knows, yeah, knows that it's out there.
Okay. This is a good one. I am Miss Erica. Have you gotten a genuine apology yet?
No,
Okay.
because
Okay. Another
let
question.
me pause there
Okay.
because a
Okay.
genuine apology does not include blame shifting, and a genuine apology doesn't include but. It also doesn't include if. So when people say, I'm sorry if I offended, that's not an apology. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but what that's not an apology. I'm sorry, but if you hadn't of, if you that's not an apology. So no, I have not.
Okay. Next question. Do you know what he told the police to get them out there?
No, because he was in the pool. Okay, so the pool has like uh the not the rail, but the little thing that you have to step on in order to step down into the pool. I don't know what
Mhm.
that would be, like the counter or something. I don't know. So his phone was right there. So if you think like why did he have a phone in the water? It was sitting there. So he was waiting. That
Mhm.
was the plan. Um, but I saw him, talking, and I was like, I know, no, he's not calling the police on me.
That was wild.
Police
That was
on me.
wild.
And so I got up, I called my mom, I called my cousin Shannon, they're like my adopted parents. They're really my friend, my close friends, in-laws. They're like my surrogate parents here in Texas. And I called them and I was like, hey, I don't know. I think this person is calling the police on me.
Mhm.
And I just need for y'all to be aware. I don't know what's gonna happen because when the police are called on black people, you're
Yeah.
taking a risk. You just don't know. Okay.
Yep.
So, um, yeah. And the
Okay.
police didn't tell me why. They
Right.
asked him,
Yeah.
why'd you call?
All right. We got a lot of questions, so I'm gonna roll through
I'm
them. What
okay if
does?
you're okay.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I got all night,
Okay.
so you gonna have to stop. And look, we're already an hour in it, and the questions are still
Okay.
rolling. What does dating look like for you now?
I dated, like I said in the series, after the police were called, I was like, let me get out there. I dated from October, November, December, January, MLK Day, and I haven't dated again. I was exhausted. Just I was just like, uh, yeah. So I haven't been out on a date in quite some time, in a few months. And
Okay.
yeah.
Well, at least you didn't dip your foot in a
I
pond.
dipped my foot in there. I did. I put my big toe in there, and then I took it back out. So
Oh God! All right, Brickwood Rail. What are you? what are you excited about for the future?
Oh, everything. Um, everything. Mothering without anxiety, mothering without crying, you know, um, mothering with peace, um, opportunities, meeting new people. Um, I read a quote that said, "You haven't met everyone that's going to love you," right?
Oh wow.
And so, meeting new people, um, seeing great things happen in my friends' lives, um, seeing them flourish. I would love. Oh man, I don't remember the last time I do remember the last time I've been on a vacation, but it was years ago. I
Mm,
want to travel.
yeah.
Like my feet have not touched sand in years. I want to travel. I want to take my son to Disneyland.
Mhm.
So traveling, just new experiences. I feel like there's so much more to conquer, to experience, to learn.
Yes.
Um,
Yes. And this chapter, I feel like is closed, and now it's what's ahead. That's what, like, that ending. Episode 50 was like, whew, and I think everybody watching was just like, she made it through stronger, bolder than ever. Like healthy, like she made it through. It didn't break you. Like this would have broken so many people, and you made it through stronger, more confident, more beautiful, glowing. You're glowing. You're glowing. You're
I
glowing.
think it's the
It's
ring light.
now listen, you are glowing. So
I
to
appreciate it.
get, I mean, because you're not like we take for granted what really breaks someone. What, like, as far as drugs
Yes,
and alcohol
yes,
and
yes,
addictions
yes.
and all of this, and it could have definitely took you out.
Absolutely, absolutely,
It could have
absolutely.
took you out. All right. So what? So this is the last question, and I know y'all are still putting them in the comments, but I'm only going on these questions right now. So I'll flip to the comments and see if I can catch you. But did you go through? And this is actually my best friend. She said, and she's a counselor. Did you go through therapy?
Oh yeah, I haven't been this year. I need to go back, but I was in therapy. Ooh, 22. Well, actually, I was in therapy during my whole pregnancy and probably a year prior to that. And then, one thing I didn't share in the series,
What?
my ex, I was pregnant. My
Okay.
ex called my best friend to get my therapist's information. So
Mm-hmm.
my friend said, "Who's your therapist?" And so I told her. She was like, "Oh, okay. Can you give me her number so that, because I'm trying to create a list of like your medical care list in the event something happens, which your girlfriend having that if you're about to go into, cool, whatever."
Mm-hmm.
So one day my therapist said, your ex reached, I mean, not your ex, your husband reached out to me and wanted to join one of our sessions. I said, "He did?" She said, "Yeah, are you okay with that?" And I said, "Sure." I said, "Do you know what he wants to talk about?" And she was like, "Well, I first just wanted to know if it was okay with you. Because, he wanted to talk about the baby and you all being parents." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So he's in the session
Mm-hmm.
and he, was basically saying, "I want to know how I can support you during postpartum." What is my point? You're cheating. Get out of my face. Get
Mm-hmm.
out of my face. Oh my, you would think like, my husband is supportive. I reached out to my therapist and he went through my friend and like we had this session. He wanted to talk about how he's gonna be such a supportive, you know,
Mm.
but your girlfriend down the man, you don't get out of my face with that man.
Look, bought
Oh,
about look.
man.
I kept telling him take several seats throughout the series. I'm
Oh,
like, take several
man.
seats.
So
Bye bye.
it's stuff like that that I didn't put in the series, little stuff like that. Why did I bring that up? I brought that up because we were talking about therapy, and I
Mm-hmm.
was saying that I went through therapy while I was pregnant, and that made me think about that. So I need to get back to it this year, but yes, I don't know if I would have made it because I was doing a lot of blaming. Man, I was beating myself up. If I had been a better wife, right? Like if I would have been a better wife, he wouldn't have done so much lying. He wouldn't have done so much cheating. He wouldn't have deceived me. That's what I was. So that's why I needed therapy. It wasn't. It wasn't really that the marriage was over that I needed
Yeah.
therapy for. It was me blaming myself for someone's character. That thing
Yeah.
was because I kept
You can't
thinking,
own that.
why would it was just hard for me to reconcile.
Yeah.
Okay, why somebody would do so. Surely it was me if I had been better. And so through therapy, and my therapist, thank God, she would say, I am here to tell you if I have to tell you every single session that this is not your fault, I
Yeah.
will stand 10 toes down on this. And I will
Mhm.
just say it every session. She said he made a choice. There were other choices he could have made if he was that unhappy, but this is the choice that he chose.
And repetitive over
And
and
repetitive.
over and over again.
He was like, his deception, him deceiving you, is not your fault. And she said that his deception is what it was. It tricked you. How can you blame yourself for being tricked? And I was like, but I could have saw the signs. And without saying it, she was like,
Yeah. Zip it.
I won't allow you to go down this spiral, to go down this hall. So to answer your friend's question, yes, I need to get back in it in 2025, but yeah.
Right. So I didn't figure out your name, and I had messed it up before, but it's Inspired Events. So she says, thank you so much for your transparency. It was a blessing. I found your page a year ago because you and your story helped me through my process. You've shown me I'm truly not alone. I know there's so many people that it's crazy the what we go through in silence. And I think that's for me was the biggest impact when I got to the end. Because remember, I told you I was scared, I was nervous, I was
Yeah.
like, Lord, and I was even beat myself up. I prayed that night and I was like, should I, as a friend, be transparent with what I'm feeling about this? And I prayed for, I was so nervous. But getting to the end, it was just so powerful how speaking out loud, what so many of us afraid to do, being vulnerable, letting it all out, how healing that is for other people. In your shoes or not,
Yeah.
because everybody can relate to holding something in and carrying that burden.
Yeah.
No matter what it is. So speaking it out loud and just the camaraderie. I'm telling you, I gotta go back and listen to that theme song, girl. At the end, I had a pep in my step at work. I was like,
And
I
you
was
know what?
like,
I want to say too, these type of messages, you have to, and I guess that's the storyteller in me. You have to package it in a pretty bow so it could be received. Because it's ugly and it's messy. And if I would have shown up on social media in 2023 and possibly yeah, really in 2022, when it was fresh, and in 2023 when I was, in a healing process, I don't think that my delivery would have been as colorful and humorous
mhm.
as it was now in 2025. And I feel like it was easy to chew on because I added a little sugar to it. And that's what I wanted. I wanted people to be able to receive it, be able to, take it in with a little humor. Because humor heals. Humor is it's freeing,
Yeah.
it's healing. So
Yeah, and who is this? I am Nicole Simmons. She said, and not everyone can share in such a masterful way. Masterful is the adjective that I was looking for. What is her name? So I thought about three people. I thought about Tyler Perry, and I was like, oh, I hope this gets to him. Then I thought about tagging him. I was like, just play it out. I thought about what is her name? The lady Insecure.
The lady on Insecure. Oh, Issa
Yeah.
Rae.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Lisa Ray. I thought about Lisa
Mm-hmm.
Ray, this the storyline. And then oddly enough, I thought about Tamara Hall. Those are the three people I was like, oh, but everything, like the talent. I knew you were talented. I knew that you come from excellent. You what? You went to
Mm-hmm.
Howard, Black excellence. I know people hate that phrase or not, but that it is what it is. But this sealed the deal to take pain and create. Someone said masterpiece out of pain.
Uh,
I was like, bingo. I was like, oh, and then all I kept saying is, I'm glad you kept your mouth shut and waited to see this through. And I mean,
well, I will say this. I don't want to say where I work because because there have been people that have been where you work now because they want to find out what's the real name of her. I am trying my best to conceal identities. That is just not the direction that I want this. That's not the direction that I want this to go. So I won't say where I work, but I will say I majored in broadcast news. So I'm sure some of you are watching are like, oh, that makes. But I am not in that career. I am not in media. And so I was trained to edit,
mhm.
edit video. And even though I've almost been out of college 20 years, but don't tell anybody.
We can't see it.
Don't tell anybody. But although I have been out of college for that long, those skills have still stuck with me.
Yeah,
And
clearly.
I in college I created a documentary. So I had to, I had some help with the editing on that project, but so I really do enjoy media, radio, television, film. I haven't, clearly haven't tapped into it, but
Mhm.
so if anybody is wondering like what those skills have been in me for a very long time. So that is, yeah.
So good. All right, Ashley Ivana, God showed me how imperative it is to wait on his timing to share gracefully, walking in truth and forgiveness. And I don't know if you know her, but I think that's exactly what you did. You
Hmm.
waited on his timing, not yours, because you had created this for those who hadn't, wasn't on our first live. You created this, what, was it 2 or 3 years ago?
2023, I had about 24 to 25 episodes.
Okay.
Let's just say 25, maybe two, I can't remember, but I thought it was done. And so I just sat on it. But half of the series came from 2024, 2020. No, it came from 2024. So the police situation, my newsletter, um, yeah, and I'm glad I didn't rush to put it out
Yeah.
because the story wouldn't have been that the police situation, all of that was very important because it's one thing to tell the story about how the marriage broke, right? But the aftermath of how
Yeah.
you continue to uphold your boundaries and how you know, move forward, that part is important too. Because,
Yeah.
yeah, people cheat all the time, right? We know he cheated. Wah, wah, wah. Okay. But everybody doesn't make it over. And
Yeah.
they don't make it over still smiling and still with the head full of hair and still
Mhm.
able to laugh.
Yeah.
That is the part that I'm glad I was able to tell. So if I had rushed and
Hmm.
put out my 25 episodes in 2023, we would have missed truly the magic is what happened after the infidelity and all that.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, y'all. I hate to even. I can talk to you all night. You already know that, right? If you say anything about the, I think you already know we can talk all night. This was such a pleasure. I want to like, what do you want to like the last words? What do you want us to end with? But first of all, before you answer that, y'all share,
Yeah,
share, share because
please
there is healing.
do. I hope I wanted to get in the right hands.
Mm-hmm.
Um, oh, here's the other thing. Let me just say this.
Okay.
Even though I wasn't posting on social media in 2023, I was looking at women tell their stories. So that helped me. So when someone is suffering in silence, they're on social media googling and looking at YouTube videos about infidelity and betrayal trauma, and they're looking at reels of women who have made it over, and that are single moms, and that encouraged me. And so now I can be a part of the movement of women that are sharing their stories, and somebody who's at home right now crying in the dark, trying not to go crazy. Maybe they can look at my series and say, I can do this. Like, I can do this. I don't have to
Yeah.
burn his clothes. I can do
It is passing.
I can do
It's
this.
passing the baton,
Yeah.
passing the torch, and it's. I don't know if you have felt because you're the creator, and so you were in it. But I don't know if you felt from a viewer's perspective, the unspoken, like it was a like locked in camaraderie, support, unity, women's empowerment movement. Like that's what we went
I feel
through.
it. I feel it. The response, like I said, I've had a few negative, but I just delete and block or whatever. But it's only been a few. And so I'm grateful for the engagement, because it's one thing for people to watch, right? You get views, okay,
Mhm.
but when people engage and they make comments and it really, tells me what they're thinking and how they're feeling, and it's like their comments match what I was feeling, and I'm like, yes, girl, you did it,
You did, yeah, no, you
girl, you did
definitely you did. You look what they say. You did your big one. I never. I don't think anyone could have imagined something so painful being eloquently produced because it was a production and the message got across. Renee said, God said, learn from your trials and help the next one with your testimony. Great job, Queen. So true. Each one teach one. We can't carry the lessons, the glory, the burdens alone. You have to it's put it out there, share, pull someone else up who's struggling. So it did whatever it was meant to do. I hope everyone continue to share. If you haven't gotten through it, I don't think we did too many spoiler alerts. We probably did some with the police, let y'all know that. But get through the series because there's nothing like getting to the end. Those last two, 49 and 50, is speechless.
it. Yeah.
Speechless. All right, AJ. So, any last words you have for us?
I just appreciate you all for watching. I really do. I really do. And I hope that it gets in the right hands. And I know that it will. I know that it will. I know that it will. And I hope that it encourages someone to put it down. Just
Girl, put it
to
down. That
put it
was the thing.
down.
So, I'm so happy you did not release that spoiler because when we talked on Sunday, there was a question: what is about the title? AJ, that part I don't even know what episode that was.
I
I,
don't either.
my mouth was like I couldn't imagine, but it showed. I know you're right. The just most peaceful, delightful, joy. It's just the just a real girl's girl, just bright. Everything y'all see now. To see where this took you or could
Girl,
have taken you, but to
I was
that
I was about to be
That
out of
switch.
here. I was about
Oh,
to be out of here. Yeah, I was about to be out of here. Ooh, girl, God is so good.
oh.
Let me
So
tell you,
somebody is saying
God
it, and
is
I
so
think
good.
so. God,
He,
God is so good.
he's real. Let me tell you, he is real. He is real. He, ooh, he's real. Because I should not be smiling. I
Mm.
should not be laughing right now.
The grace of God.
That betrayal almost took me to cell block 25. I don't know what cell block 25 is, but I just,
But you was about to be in it.
man, oh man, I, I just hope that this reaches the right person
Mhm.
and they, make a decision that doesn't take them under
Yeah, yeah.
because snapping is real and it can happen to the best of us, the prettiest, the funniest, the smartest. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. It
Hmm.
it could it can get you. The richest, the poorest. I could have snapped and I was almost there. And you know, for those of you all that are Christians, don't neglect taking your children to church. I don't care if they're in the nursery and all they do is play. Take them to church. Even if you don't feel like going, drop them off. Take them because the God that they learn about when they are young, come on,
Hmm. Wow.
it could be the God that will save them
Same with you.
when they are in their 30s, 40s, and 50s. And that's what happened to me. It wasn't the God that I learned about in my adulthood.
Hmm.
It was the one that I learned about when I was a little girl that kept me anchored
Oh
because
yeah,
the
because that was your
little girl
story.
in me was strong, but the
Hmm.
woman in me was about to lose it. And, I'm not a pastor or anything, but I just know he's real. And,
Yeah.
I'm not one to beat God or Jesus into somebody's brain,
Hmm.
but this is my story. And I'm not ashamed of the gospel.
Yeah. No, it was nothing but the grace of God, and just have to your point, that deeply rooted foundation in you. And mom, job well done. If you still are on,
Yeah,
job
I'm
well
sure
done.
she is.
Someone else said, someone, and I missed that comment, I don't know who it was, but they were saying that and maybe you do have an idea, but you have no idea how grateful, I think they said, I don't know if it was grateful, but you have no idea how having a mom to be able
Mhm.
to even talk to uplift you, to be there for you. Like, you have no idea of how many people don't have that type of relationship or bond with their
Yeah.
mom, and how instrumental that was. And when you say you called your mom, them tears was rolled, I was
Mhm.
like,
Mhm.
oh,
And let
mama.
me say this too, about my mom. My mom cried walking me down the aisle. She did not cry tears of joy. So that's a part of the story too. She did not cry tears of joy. She was saddened that I chose to get married and that I chose this particular person. She couldn't explain what it was. She just knew that there was something that wasn't right, but because she loved me. So I'm gonna say this, and I'm not sure how it's gonna come across because everything is in divine order and
Mhm.
all things work together for my good. But she was there to hold my hand when I made the biggest mistake of my life. And she was there when that biggest mistake brought me down to my knees. And I hope that I could be that to my son,
Oh yeah.
because to experience that, it's like mama said, don't touch the stove, don't touch the stove, don't touch the stove. And you touch it and you get burned. And instead of saying, didn't I tell you not to touch that? Mama comes over and gives you, helps your wound, and you don't say anything, because the wound is the lesson. I don't have to tell you I told you
Yes.
so, because you're walking through the consequence. So I'm just gonna let God handle that. But I'm gonna be there for you, and I hope I can be that. I hope I can be that for my son.
Wow. A
Yeah.
mother's love.
Mm.
AJ, I
I
love you
love you too.
dearly.
Thank you so much, because we've been on here for an hour and a half,
Girl, listen, I
girl.
could go all night. I could go all night. I am just so happy for you that you have overcame this. I just being a married woman, when you were going through and what you shared, it was like, I think all married women, first of all, we never know when it will be us. We never know. We know what part that we have kind of conquered through in a marriage, and to see the other side, just a victorious woman who wasn't broken. It's just beyond inspiration. But I'm so happy that you made it to where you are. You're still glowing, you're thriving. Your son is going to reap the benefit. We don't know what his future looks like, but I am 100% confident he is going to reap the benefit of you leaving versus staying through that mess
Mhm.
that was going on. So love you dearly. Virtual hug as always. Y'all share, share, share. Reach out, pour into. I hope folks got the snapshots of it was going, the love was flowing endlessly. And I just want to thank you. I want to thank you for choosing me to
Of
be in
course.
conversation
Thank
with you.
you. Thank you.
um,
I appreciate you. I
Yes,
appreciate
yes,
you.
yes. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for joining, hanging out with us.
Bye, everybody.
And
Thank you all
till
for
next time.
watching. Share with your cousins and your friends and your
I
sisters
know.
and your aunties. I would love for Tyler Perry to see this. I really would.
That's the first person I thought about.
I really would. I would love for him to see it and make some magic, or I don't know, Shonda Rhimes or Ava DuVernay or Issa Rae or Regina King. I mean, it would be. I'm speaking it. I'm putting
Yes,
it out there.
listen, put in the universe. No, there's someone asked a question, and I think I did too, right? Of what is next. I think everyone's eyes is wide open. I think you got folks locked in. We know whatever it is, it's going to be impactful. It's your time. It's your season. There's no true testimony, no true time. Well, what's the saying? There's no true testimony without a test. Like, you didn't go through this for nothing. You didn't go through this for nothing. There is something on the other side, and we're all waiting and we're watching. And let's just keep AJ lifted up in prayer, support, love, and until whatever happens, I think we're all going to be sitting on the edge of our seats, because I think if you haven't done anything else, you have proven that pain don't last
Come
forever, and
on,
that,
that's it.
listen, if you pour in, like, your true innate gifts that God gave you has produced what has been put out into the world. And when them credits was rolling, AJ, I was like,
I'm gonna
damn,
give
y'all,
myself the
she
credit.
did it. Look, we did it, Joe. As nervous as I was, we did it, Joe.
That's so
But
funny.
love you, love you,
Love you
love
too,
you.
friend.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, everybody. Thank you.